Thank you for tuning in to After the Whistle. I'm your host, Ashor Daniel, along with my guest, Steve Mushi. And we are getting to the segment of the NCAA. All right, so we just saw an amazing game happen this past Saturday against Kansas State. I mean, at this point, Steve, I'm watching, Loyola, and a lot of, it seems like every week that, they're trying to climb the ladder, or they're like the underdog, okay? And I'm trying to think to myself, I know these past 3 games prior to that, it was a kind of a nail-biter, last second three-pointer, 25 seconds up layup, and they played great defense. But, with this game that we just witnessed, it was a total blowout, okay? When I was watching them, I felt like, they already knew what they were going to play. Every shot went in. I've seen more three-pointers in that game. I've seen them all throughout the whole tournament. They were sinking threes when they needed them, and you knew it was coming. Plus, we had discussed this previously in the previous segments of the show, where you hit it right to the point where it says the chemistry is there. And sometimes when you watch some of these teams, and I think that's what they're lacking. But when I was watching the game, I remembered you because when Custer was dribbling the ball, and the way he's passing the ball, everybody's at the right position at the right time, and they're scoring consistently. And when they needed to play defense, they played defense. And I swear to you, sometimes I felt like when I was watching this game, the triangle defense kind of reminded me of the Bulls, because I feel like sometimes they were forming that. But they were sinking those threes when they needed to, even though Kansas State made a few runs, kind of to get the game close, it didn't faze Loyola. They were as cool breeze, and then they were just shooting it, and they kept scoring. And at certain points, it got out of hand, and I think Kansas State knew it. And Loyola, we saw an amazing victory. Something that I actually kind of enjoyed without sitting there, oh my God, they're going to win or not. What was your take on that last week?
I mean, I've said it since they entered the tournament. The game before they entered the tournament, they were playing Marquette. I was watching that game. They were playing Marquette. That was the first ever game I ever watched Loyola play. And the announcers kept saying, hey, these guys can play the best defense entering the tournament. Can anybody match up with them? Coming to the tournament, I had him going to the Sweet 16 and then out from there. But I couldn't see it. Like, you hit it on the head. I mean, there's 3 things. Mm-hmm. Coaching is a big key. They're coached, really well, and the defense plays a big part of it. Every member on that team can play man-to-man defense. When they need to, switch to a matchup zone, they'll switch to a matchup zone. You know? The big thing is chemistry. I'm telling you, they remind me of the Golden State Warriors. They utilize the shot clock. Mm-hmm. They're getting that shot clock about 20, 25 seconds and getting a shot off. They're controlling the game, and that's what's going to teams that are run and gun teams are pretty much going to they're going to slow down to the pace of what Loyola plays, and then that extra pass gets that extra 3 ball.
Yeah. So this segment we have this today, which Steve actually hit so many great points. If you guys have any discussion, anything you want to chat about, please type in your message. We'll look at it. We've done this before, my previous show. You know how it works. Just type it in, and we'll say, who's commenting, what they said, and we'll kind of touch base with that. So please feel free, text me or message any questions you may have for me and Steve, and we'll answer the questions. Even if you don't agree with us, you have a debate, hey, you know what? That's what we're here for today. It's an open mic. Let's debate what you guys have in mind.
The one thing that I didn't say was, did you know that Custer and Richardson have been teammates since the 3rd grade?
No, I did not know that.
And they were high school state champions.
I did not know that. Wow.
And they teamed up at Loyola, and this is the journey they're going. At one point during the game, I heard the announcer say that there was 5 players that were in a state championship game that were on the floor. And Custer and Richardson were one of them. And I think Ingram was the other guy from Simeon.
Mm-hmm.
But
I remember you telling me last week that they bunch of them had the state champions.
That's where chemistry comes in.
That's what it does. Yeah, absolutely.
Growing up together, playing AAU ball together.
Mm-hmm.
Going into high school, going into college, and you can't do it in the pros unless you get drafted by the same team. But that's a big part of the chemistry.
Absolutely. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup. Actually, it's going to be one hell of a week because next Saturday the game's at 6:10. They say it's 6:04, or 6:09 or something like that, which made no sense. But let's just say 6:10. The game's at. They're playing, Michigan. Okay. With Loyola playing Michigan, I was watching Michigan the second game, and I felt like, by the end of the first half, it was like 25 points on each side. I feel like, is it more of a defensive team from both ends, or is this just something that I know prior to that, they were making their shots. They were shooting those threes, but their percentage for this week for Michigan was god-awful. So I'm looking at them like, okay, the way they're playing right now, and I know any given week anything can happen, but Loyola should easily win this game.
I think so. I mean, they've shocked us in every round they've played. I don't see them why they shouldn't win. But Michigan's a deep squad. Their offense revolves around Muhammad Ali Abdul Rahman. Mm-hmm. Their point guard. He rarely turns the ball over. Yeah. And they also have the big man Wagner. That's with them. I mean, they've been there.
Yeah.
Michigan's been there before.
Yeah.
It's not the first rodeo for Michigan. Loyola's first time since '63. They've been there. But if they play the ball that they've been playing, I don't see why they shouldn't win. Any team can be beat at this point.
Any team, you're right. It's like football, they say, any given Sunday. Actually, we have our first question from Vina Gabriel. I have a question. Steve, why is Steve wearing a Packers jersey?
Why wouldn't I be? He's the greatest QB in NFL. I've said this day on and out. And have I not?
You have said it.
Yes.
You have said it. But you have also said the Eagles.
We're going to win the Super Bowl.
And
and they won the Super Bowl.
Honestly, what's isn't Eagles your team?
I like Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, as a quarterback.
Okay. I hate the Packers.
Okay.
But I like Aaron Rodgers.
You may want to say that to the general public out there that are watching.
Aaron Rodgers is the greatest QB in NFL.
But
I've said that.
But
I'm not a Packers fan. I'm an Eagles fan. Everyone that knows me knows what fan I am.
Okay.
Anyone that knows me knows that I'm an Eagles fan.
Do you like the Bears?
Yeah, of course. My hometown. I mean, I don't love them. I like the Eagles more than the Bears.
Interesting how that works because I'm just.
Do you like the Bears?
Do I like the Bears? I'm a Tampa Bay. Everyone knows I'm a Bucs fan. Oh my God, does everybody know that?
I'm sorry.
No, they shouldn't be because you know what? I don't jump ship like some fans do with their teams. Like they're Packers fans because they're the hottest commodity in the '90s. 49ers because Joe Montana won. I like them because honestly they were mediocre. And that's how I followed. I said to myself, I want to be away from everybody what they think. I'm going to follow a team that just stinks. And then when they win, everybody will know, hey, I remember this guy followed them. I don't jump ship like I'm a Golden State Warriors fan when I used to be a Bulls fan because the Warriors are the talk of the town. LeBron James is the greatest player. Now I'm going to be a LeBron James fan. I'm not like that. I'm true to who I am, true to my team. And you know what? But there's a lot of fans out there. I know John Oraham, who's been a Packers fan for the longest. Nino Diwa. I mean, to me, honestly, Nino's, okay, I could probably say from all the people that I know this kid when he was young, really young, he was a Packers fan. I mean, hats off to him because he stuck with it, and he knows his football. He knows his football.
Packers been good for a few years now. Rarely they're a bad team. I mean, but my opinion, this man is the greatest QB right now in NFL. I mean, everyone says Tom Brady.
I still think it's Tom Brady.
My opinion, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, guy's been doing it. He's shattering records there, and with the offensive line that he's had, and I mean, you like I told you before, in our shows before, is if you flip flop them, if you put Rodgers in New England and Brady in Green Bay, what kind of outcome will you see?
Well, we don't know that, but Steve, here's the thing I always try to say. Okay, Brady. Okay, and I'm going to move on because this is not about him right now. We'll touch base a little bit, but with Brady, and I emphasize this on this so many times during his career. It's not like Brady had his same team like Montana did. Montana had Taylor, Jerry Rice, Roger Craig. He had a phenomenal defense in Ronnie Lott. They had an all-star. If you remember Madden, the all-star team? Mm-hmm. That's what the 49ers were. Okay? Brady never had that. Every year he won a Super Bowl, it's with different receivers, different offensive line. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, is it the system?
I don't know about different offensive line. But
well, I mean, yeah.
He's had that offensive line.
If you look at every year he's won, look at the roster, different team every year. Maybe with one player who was there or two players. But, yes, it is the system. But, if it's the system, then every team, okay, that has won the Super Bowl, multiple had a system. 49ers had a system. It wasn't it was Bill Walsh's system. That's how Montana won. What did Montana do in Kansas City when he left? Nothing. He won to a couple playoffs, but he didn't do anything after that. So it is a system, but the quarterback has to be at his best in order to win. At his best. And, we've seen some games, some people say, okay, well, there's a Spygate here, there's this, that. You know what? The NFL had it against New England because they got tired of seeing them win. They'll figure something out. The inflated balls, this, that. But you're telling me what team hasn't cheated? Every team cheats. They find a way to cheat. It's part of the league.
Well, to answer the question why I'm wearing a jersey, I mean, that's all. I follow Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers. I've said this one before. It's nothing new. I mean, a lot of Bears fans are going to hate me for this, but I mean, he is the greatest QB.
No doubt about it. I think he's one of the best. I'm not saying
Bears fans are going to hate me just because they have to see him twice a year.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. Which we'll touch base on this because it's one of our topics when Rodgers, they have to figure out what they're going to do with his contract.
Yeah.
Because he had Bear fans hate it because they've had Favre for so many years. Okay, since 1992, which I always think to myself, he was drafted by Atlanta. Okay, the Falcons drafted him. And he just sat there as a bench. They traded him to Green Bay when, right 91 he was drafted, 92 got traded to Green Bay. And then, he turned out to be one of the best things that can happen to Green Bay for so long. And then, you got to feel for the Bears fans because as soon as he left, you have Aaron Rodgers taking around.
I mean,
so it's quite
interesting.
You
learned a lot from him.
You did. Well, that's the thing. That is the thing. But, that's why I kind of look at it with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. What do they have? 2 Super Bowls between the two?
2, yes.
That's,
2.
To me, I look at that and I blame the organization. Because, yes, Brett Favre has won one Super Bowl. He lost one. Aaron Rodgers has been to 1 Super Bowl and he's won it, right? He hasn't been to 2. He's been to 1, I believe. And he won it. Against Indianapolis. So I look at that overall and saying, you know what, Rodgers should have at least have 2 Super Bowls by now. And Favre should have had 2. It's a shame between the two. All these years they only have 2. I blame the organization.
He's still got a few years left. He's still got, I think, 5-6 years left.
Jennifer Burchell says he was almost a Bear. Who was almost a Bear? Aaron Rodgers?
Man, Bears fans would love that.
Let's see how many of you guys know where Aaron Rodgers went to college. It was Cal, okay? Wasn't that the Golden Bears, right? Maybe that's what you mean, but was he going to be drafted by the Bears? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
Anything like that. I don't know. He got drafted. What year was it? I can't remember.
Brett Favre.
Brett. Oh, Brett was almost a Bear. Okay, well, you can recall that far? Wow. Brett Favre was almost, Atlanta drafted him because in 1991, Bears were still making the playoffs. Atlanta was horrible. So that's why Atlanta ended up with him. Yeah. Two lost V's for Broncos. Goriel, what do you mean by 2 lost V's for the Broncos? We have Goriel trying to give us something on here with the 2 lost V's with the Broncos. I don't know what that means. You see what that says?
Victories?
2 lost V's with the Broncos. Goriel, I have no clue what you're talking about over there. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll move on to the NBA. Okay. Oh, before we move on to the NBA, I'm sorry. Let's talk about the Villanova game against Kansas. They're both ranked number 1. Okay. They're both ranked number 1. This is going to be a great matchup. Because if Loyola wins, okay, let's just say they win. Hypothetically, let's just say they move on and beat Michigan. Which is a better fit for them to win the whole national championship?
In my opinion, it's Villanova.
Villanova?
They're well coached. They've been there before. Kansas has been there before. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yesterday, Coach K from Duke, when they were interviewing him at halftime, he was saying, "Wow, this team is pretty fast."
Yeah.
And this is the fastest team we've played against this whole tournament, and moving forward. Kansas is fast, and they're good, But matchup wise, I see Villanova. Defensive wise, I think Villanova can hold them down. It'll be a great game. Don't get me wrong. Yesterday's game against Duke, I mean, they should have utilized Bagley more in the game towards the end of the game versus going Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen, he didn't touch. I mean, he had 5 points with like 4 minutes left in the game, and then he started taking the ball to the basket and getting fouled, and then took the game-winning shot and missed it, and then that was it from there. But I mean, Newman himself, I think he had 13, 14 points in overtime.
Yeah.
In overtime.
Yeah.
He had 14 points in overtime.
They were discussing what was he? Did he travel? They was discussing something with
whether he traveled or not. The man scored 14 points in overtime.
Yeah, I mean he
single-handedly beat Duke yesterday. So it's going to be a great matchup.
It is.
I like to see Kansas play Loyola if Loyola can get past Michigan. But either one of those teams that get past, whether it's Kansas, whether it's Villanova, it's going to be a defensive game in the championship.
It's going to be one. I mean, can you imagine Loyola in the national championship? Guys, honestly, I'm already saying it out there, okay? Loyola, first was it Northwestern last year?
They got to the Sweet 16.
Loyola, you know who I'm predicting next year? Oakton Community College, okay? Oakton Community, put your money on it.
Des Plaines location.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're going to merge the two teams from Skokie and Des Plaines. Oakton Community College to the Sweet 16 next year. I just had to say that. Okay, so it looks like Goriel was trying to sit there and say that Favre lost to Elway. Yes, we know. He was on his second run, Favre, after winning 96 Super Bowl. He lost to John Elway. When John Elway won his first Super Bowl, I remember that game. This one's for John. I think they had mentioned that one. Did you remember that Super Bowl? 1997? Yeah, I remember. Actually, Broncos had a great team that year. They really did.
Was that the team with Davis? Terrell
Davis was
Terrell Davis.
There's a great
Shannon
running back.
Sharp.
Shannon Sharp, which I'm not fond of. I'm not a fan of Shannon Sharp, nor his brother Sterling Sharp for Green Bay. Sorry, never liked Sterling Sharp for Green Bay. I mean, but yeah, that team, Terrell Davis. He was a great running back. Unfortunately, his career was ended early because of his migraine problems he used to have. So, it's sad. But, yeah, then, they won in back-to-back Super Bowls. Denver beat Atlanta, which Atlanta had no purpose being in the Super Bowl that year. None. Okay, so we have Michael Shimon saying the emergence of Newman will give Kansas the edge, in my opinion.
I agree, Mike. Newman played well yesterday, and if he can do what he did yesterday against Duke, it's going to come down to the wire. I agree.
It is going to be interesting. Guys, again, it is open topic, so if you're listening to us, you have anything you want to add to it, we'll look at your message, we'll call you, and we'll mention your name or what you just said, and we'll answer your questions anything that you guys have. So let's go ahead and move on to the NBA. Golden State Warriors, okay?
They're injured.
Yes. Okay. Golden State Warrior with Steph Curry. Second grade MCL?
MCL injury, yeah.
Okay.
He's been getting hurt all year.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen down the stretch. His timetable set on his return is going to be sooner than expected for obviously for the playoffs. But was it Steve Kerr, their coach? Says otherwise. So he's saying, no, I'm going to be back sooner. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen with that. Curry said indicating that he would return opening round for suffering the second grade. So he wants to return opening round.
I mean, he needs to come back opening round.
Okay.
And the West is tough. Anybody that comes out of the West is going to be tough.
It's going to be,
especially with Curry. I mean, they're still going to have, Durant, and then Klay Thompson should be coming back soon from his thumb injury, and they got Draymond. overall, like I said, chemistry. You know, that team runs off of chemistry. And it's a system. If Curry, let's say, hypothetically, is out for the season, is the season over for the Golden State Warriors? I can't say it's fully over. Mm-hmm. They got a great backup veteran point guard in Livingston. He's no Curry. But then again, like I said, there's a system. And you got those players that you just insert and plug and go with Steve Kerr's system and move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, Michael Shamoun said Spurs versus Warriors first-round matchup will be very tough and probably the most anticipated first-round round in a while. Kawhi, I'm assuming it's Kawhi Leonard, right? Kawhi Leonard, yeah. The possibility of coming back may have the Warriors one and done. With the Spurs?
I mean, if Kawhi comes back,
really,
the Spurs are going to be tough.
You think so, Michael? Is that what you think?
Mike's a big basketball guy.
Is he? I mean, look, Houston Rockets
Mike's
right
one
now.
of our Syrian international basketball players.
Is he really? Wow.
Mike knows that's basketball.
Yeah. It's going to be
Even
interesting.
though he left us from Chicago and went to Arizona, but he still at heart, he's a Chicago fan.
Hey, listen, I'm debating that move in a couple of years too. So I'm not going to. You know what? If that's what you want, Michael Shumasesh, a pretty good move that you moved to Arizona. I don't want to get into the political reasons why, but we all know as far as everything that goes on in Chicago. The next, we want to discuss was the. But it's going to be interesting with the Golden State Warriors because they've been there, they've done it, they know how to win. So obviously with the players lost to Boston Celtics. With the Kyrie Irving, okay? Kyrie Irving is supposed to, and it's funny because here's one for the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry now, Kyrie Irving, is expected to miss 3 to 6 weeks to undergo removed the tension wire in his knee. I didn't even know he had that. Honestly, a tension wire in his left knee.
I remember he got hurt in the playoffs once. It was a knee injury, but I don't know if it was similar to this.
I mean, unless you re-aggravated it, which I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you, Dr. Shimushi over here, what the difference is with the MCL and a meniscus.
Or a tension wire.
Or a tension wire. But, with that being said, Kyrie is something that Boston would need because it's not like they have the depth of help.
They already lost Gordon Hayward in the beginning of the season, and having Kyrie out right now, it's kind of tough for them. So he needs to come back. So they're going to be able to compete somewhat out of the East. Mm-hmm. But no matter what, I've told you this from day one, Cleveland's coming out of the East.
So Michael's seems like one of our best guys who's trying to get the attention here. Michael says if it was the same knee that he had the surgery on, broke kneecap with Kyrie. Wow.
So I forgot to tell you, Mike is a doctor also.
Is he? Is that right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not the only doctor.
Well, Mike, you can be in the background while this, but it looks like it is a broken kneecap. That's going to be really painful to come back and play with. I mean,
kneecap? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, honestly, it's 3 to 6 weeks. That should. When is the NBA?
We just had all
the playoffs. So we're looking at May, right, or June?
End of April, close to end of April. It's coming up, a couple weeks.
Oh, here's Benny Yuchan who joined us. Okay, he's a big Patriots fan.
He's a big Tom Brady fan.
Big. You know what? I'm with you, Benny. Unfortunately, they lost because certain situations happened. They wanted to give it to the Eagles because Cristiano and they're all holy and So, but Benny, thanks for tuning in. Tony Duncan, thanks for tuning in also. To all you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're still on, but please give us your feedback on what we're asking and discussing with me and Steve here. As you notice, Steve is wearing a Green Bay Packers jersey.
Sorry, Bear fans.
So I'm not going to wear any of my jerseys until the football season starts. We'll have a special segments with fantasy football. I think that's going to be really fun, honestly, because Steve is one of the fantasy football gurus. So as am I. Like within my fantasy resume. Steve, don't shake your head. My fantasy resume, okay, is just to say, out of 5 years, I made 3 Super Bowls. That's not bad.
There's 4 teams in this league.
10. It's a 10-team league.
Oh.
Okay, 10-team league. And truth to be told, if you're doing fantasy football, if you know what you're doing in the waiver wire, okay, you're smart about it, is how you win in the end. Because the team you draft is not always the team you end up with. Half of that team is going to be on the waivers, or they'll be injured. I mean, everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
So if you know what you're doing, as far as in fantasy, off the waiver wire, you do your homework, you'll be in the playoffs at the end of the week 13. Michael Shamoun again. You want to do the honors on this one?
What do you say? Let's see.
Celtics may be done in the
Celtics
first
may
round.
be done first round. It depends on the matchups with everyone being close. Who knows? Losing Kyrie and Marcus Smart is tough. Not sure where they can find points. I agree, Mike. You know, when they traded Avery Bradley
Yep.
and Jay Crowder, is a big piece of them, but they got Kyrie, they got Crowder. I mean, they got Kyrie, they got Hayward. You know, unfortunately, Hayward got hurt in the beginning of the season. That kind of hurt them. But Boston was known as a defensive team coming out from last year, and they showed it last year. They had the best perimeter defenders, with Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder. Now it just all falls on Marcus Smart. Kyrie's not a defender. Jay Crowder's not there anymore. Avery Bradley's not there anymore. I mean, who else you got over there? I mean, I don't see Boston coming out of the East at all.
Well, again, I feel like they still have a couple more years to build around Kyrie, in my opinion. Tony Duncan mentioned. I'm sorry.
Tony Duncan. Yeah,
he mentioned Michigan or Loyola. You know what? We kind of went over this, but yeah, obviously with me, I'm rooting for Loyola just because, in my opinion, honestly, Steve, the way I look at this, guys, Loyola's gotten so far in this. Okay, it's almost a heartbreaker and a disappointment if they don't make the national championship game. Honestly, because
if they make it, Ash, I think if they make it, if they don't make it, for them to get this far is already a plus for them. I mean, we all from Chicago, we want to see Loyola go to the championship, win the national championship. That's one of the biggest stories you'll hear in Chicago after the Cubs win the World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, since 1963, Loyola's never been there. I would have never thought Loyola would ever.
Who would have thought
get out of the first round?
Who would have thought? And seeing Barkley and all these all-stars talk about Loyola.
Yes.
Okay? And in their eyes, they probably didn't even know who Loyola was.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you guys. They wouldn't even know who Loyola was prior to this. Because
when's the last time we've seen any college team from Chicago go out and win it all?
Well, not win it all, but was fighting Illini in 2005.
That was the last time.
Yeah.
That was the last time.
And that was actually, they were favored. They should have won. They lost to North Carolina Tar Heels.
That was the coach of Kansas State.
That was the coach of Kansas State. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Who, unfortunately.
I mean, Michigan's a great team. Don't get me wrong, Tony. I mean, I love Michigan. They're a great defensive team. They're young. I mean, they've been together. That core's been together. And from just by looking at watching Loyola play, looks like they've been together for a while.
Yeah, they have. I mean,
the chemistry that they have is awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been in this run before, so they also know what they need to do. But it looks like it was a defensive game right after Loyola between them and who was it? Who did they play? Kansas
State.
Kansas State. No, not Loyola. Michigan played Florida.
Michigan played Florida State. Yeah.
Florida State. I mean,
Florida State just beat Gonzaga.
Exactly. So honestly, and this is what I'm starting to love college basketball just for the tournament, just because it's not watered down. It's not money. It's not like the NBA. You can see these guys are playing their hearts out.
Yes.
And it's insane. Honestly, it is. It's so fun to watch, and especially having like Loyola. I mean, Loyola. I love it. I mean, I don't want to say anything against them because they're a great team. But wow, Loyola in the national championship game. Can you imagine? It'll probably be. I don't see any other college run like this. With a small market like this is what I'm trying to say.
I think today I was reading, they said that they sold the most Sister Jane bobbleheads. Sister Jane. Sister Jane.
I see a movie coming out of this too, I'm assuming. I'm going to see a movie coming out of this. You know that. Remember Blue Chips?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Nick Nolte? Who remembers that? Blue Chips? Okay.
With Shaq and Penny?
Exactly. Yes. I mean, that's a movie in the making. And if you hear it, you heard it here first. Okay? Oh, God. Okay, I had to bring this up. Okay, LeBron James. Okay.
You're going to hear Mike in about 2 seconds, but go ahead.
Why? He doesn't like him?
He loves LeBron.
Mike, this is when you...
and this is a guy who has two Jordan tattoos.
What are you dancing for?
Two Jordan tattoos. He has two Jordan tattoos. He'll tell you what LeBron is.
Okay. Okay, this, Mike, this is where you tune off and you go to a bathroom break, get a coffee, because I'm sorry, me with LeBron James, look, he's a good basketball player. I've said that before, but nowhere is he compared to. Nowhere is he compared to. I'm sorry, there was just a background visualization that someone showed us. Sister Jean. What did we say?
Sister Jane.
Sister Jane. Jean.
Sister Jane.
That's her sister.
Same thing.
Same thing. Sister Jean.
She had him eliminated.
I mean, come on.
She had him eliminated. Sweet 16.
What does she know? LeBron James. Okay. It's going to go back to this because with LeBron James, the topic is always going to be what's next. Okay. Look, he's wearing number 23. I wonder why. Okay. I wonder why. With LeBron James, okay, next team, the title was next team, more titles, GOAT debate. And even if LeBron James, the 15 seasons, his future legacy remains among the NBA's greatest discussion, okay? Where is he playing next? Because if they don't win it, he's out. I mean, rumors just doesn't happen in sports in general with like the higher markets like ESPN unless words leaked out. Okay, him and Gilbert don't get along. I know that for a fact. We all know that. Him and Gilbert don't get along. Especially with the conversations they had when he left Cleveland, okay? How many more titles can he win? And can he finish his career as a GOAT?
Absolutely.
Now, okay.
I mean, Ash, I've told you this from before. I'm a big Jordan fan. Huge Jordan fan. Give the guy credit. Give credit where credit's due. He's in his 15th year. He's playing like he's been in the league for 3 years. Have you seen what he's averaging a triple-double since February?
Phenomenal, but Steve, who remembers triples-doubles in the end of his career? Who remembers all these? Who remembers Dan Marino and his stats? Anybody? How many Super Bowls did Dan Marino win?
I mean, the man can play the position of 1 through 5.
That's fantastic, but the NBA today, there's no defense. There is no defense. And us, like NBA enthusiasts, we've watched it. You've watched it when the Jordan, okay? The NBA back in the late 80s, 90s to like almost early 2000, it was all, remember Reggie Miller, Hakeem Olajuwon, these guys had defense, okay? And Jordan would drop 55 points on them. Jordan had it was 105-degree fever. 105-degree fever, scored 55 points. The other day we saw LeBron James do a dunk. Dude, my mom can make a dunk like that when there's no offense. I'm kidding, but you know what I'm saying.
I was going to say, okay? Sign her up.
I'll be truth. I mean, honestly, I feel like the LeBron lovers, I mean, in this generation, fine. It's what LeBron James is when it could be compared to Michael Jordan. That's fine because that's who it is right now. But when you're sitting there struggling to find anything possible to compare him to Jordan with his dunk. Oh, look at his dunk. It's in the NBA, dude. At your size, if you can't dunk from the free throw line, you shouldn't be playing. Okay? And there's no defense.
And I don't see him manhandling. I don't see him manhandling the lead the way he's manhandling if he was to play the Pistons back in the day.
Absolutely. Exactly. Okay?
Those Pistons were not easy.
They were not, no.
Jordan said it himself, Joe Dumars was the hardest person that he had to go against. And he went against them. I mean, like I always say this, if you could play both sides of the ball, you can go far away. Like, for instance, Jordan's won MVP, won scoring title, won the NBA championship. He's also won the Defensive Player of the Year. Name me a player right now after Jordan that's won the MVP, won the scoring title, and he's won a Defensive Player of the Year.
None.
Ever since Jordan, nobody.
I mean, even when you look back at Kobe Bryant, okay, look at his moves, the way he mimicked everything Jordan did, Kobe did, okay? And, that's going to be, to me, like, if you want to compare players, Jordan is on a different planet. I'm sorry. Because if it wasn't for Jordan, the NBA was done. Guys, honestly, 1984, the NBA was coming on a dive, okay? Because, all these players like Chamberlain, I mean, they had him run in the 70s and all that. NBA was coming to a dive because the league wasn't marketed well enough, okay? And they didn't have the player that Jordan was coming. I mean, it was just a dull league. Jordan came and resurrected the NBA. Okay, he put him on the map again. Because if I recall, it was like the NFL, NHL was big in the 80s, MLB, and then the NBA. That's how bad it was. I mean, flip-flop the NHL now because it's bad right now. Because just the way, their commissioner is running that. And the same commissioner was for the NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty pathetic to tell you. So, if it wasn't for Jordan, who knows what the NBA would be like right now? I mean, honestly. So, he's in a different planet. So, when we're going to compare LeBron, I would probably say compare it to more Kobe. LeBron and Kobe.
I mean, my rankings go Jordan, Kobe, then LeBron. I mean, I just love I like the killer instinct that Kobe has. And I feel like he had the same killer instinct that Jordan had.
Yeah.
Kobe back in the day, his prime, he played great defense. He wasn't one of the best defenders in the league.
Yeah.
But if LeBron worked on his defense to pretty much go into every game and I'm going to guard the best player and I'm going to do what I'm doing right now, then I can say he'll come down as the greatest player in NBA.
I could see that. I mean, but again, it's hard with me because.
But at the end of the day, Ashi's going to be the GOAT. LeBron will end up being the GOAT.
Well,
Jordan right now is the GOAT.
Yeah, but okay, to be the GOAT, okay, why do people go into the NBA? For stats or to win championships? Honestly, Tony, you love LeBron James. A player goes into the NBA for about his stats or championships. And did Jordan ever leave Chicago to win 6 championships? No. This is why this league is horrible. And I've mentioned before, this is why the NBA should honestly develop a salary cap like the NFL, like the NHL. When you don't have a salary cap, it's whoever's the hottest team, let's go win a championship there. That's why I don't like watching the NBA. It's just, let's go to if you can't beat Golden State, let's go to Golden State. And then what do you think LeBron's going to do after this year? If they don't win it, and in my opinion, they're not going to win it. Is he going to go to Houston or is he going to go join the Golden State Warriors?
If he joins Houston, that's just going to,
because it's only going to happen.
It's going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I like this. I like to see him go to the young LA Lakers. That'd be nice to see. LeBron needs to end up in a big city. He's got to go to either New York, Chicago, or LA.
Well, he's not going to come to Chicago for
That's
the
one of those.
reason.
You got to go to those big cities. He's a big name.
Yeah.
That's how they look at it. Big
I don't think
names
he's going to go to Chicago
cities.
because he doesn't want to be under the Jordan shadow. That's why he didn't come here the first time around.
He won't come to Chicago because he's going to have to go under Jordan's shadow.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks, it could be the Knicks, but my heart's telling me I think he's going to the LA Lakers.
Yeah, the Knicks would be interesting, but you know how the market is over there. The media and the fans, they'll eat him alive. If he doesn't bring a championship, honestly, they'll pack his bags. You don't have to pack them.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like to see him go to LA. It'd be nice to see him in LA with a young team in LA, and then bring maybe a Paul George there to work with him and go from there.
Okay. Yeah.
But then again, you look at the East is going to be weak. You pull LeBron out of Cleveland, he's out of the East. The East is already weak.
Mm-hmm.
He makes the East look, the way it is right now.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the West. All the talent's going to be in the West. But then again, that says if Durant stays in
Golden State. Yeah. But see, and that's my point. I feel like these guys are the same 5-8 players that keep going from team to team. Develop a salary cap system in the NBA that all these smaller teams like Minnesota, okay, the Milwaukee Bucks, all these smaller markets will have a fair chance, okay, in the draft, a fair chance to trade for players, a fair chance to get free agents, because at the end of the day, how's even the league, how do these teams not saying, you know what, we're going to fold in? As an owner, I'd be pissed off. Honestly, I'd be pissed off because it's like, okay, we're never going to have any players that we want. We're not going to have the media coverage. We're never going to have the time, like TV market share, anything like that, because it's always what? Golden State, Houston, Cleveland.
And everyone keeps saying that, LeBron started the big three. No. Boston Celtics started the big three with Ray Allen, Garnett, and Paul Pierce. They started the big three. So they started, and it just was a chain after that. And then LeBron went to Miami and took Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade was already there. And then from there, that's what happened with, Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond. And Draymond was drafted, by the way. And then they brought in Durant after that. I mean, that's the trend nowadays. And New Orleans Pelicans just brought in DeMarcus Cousins, where he might be a free agent now. The Bulls are trying to, see what their options.
The Bulls have some options going on.
But there's some young talent out there.
Yeah.
And there's some young talent coming out from this tournament too.
Well, you know who we're talking about.
DeAndre.
I mean, that guy, whoever he lands, where he lands is going to be one team to build around. Yeah. So we're going to go on a quick timeout, and then we'll be back. Please have your questions ready if you have anything you guys want to ask us, or even just watch our topics. And if you have a debate regarding our next topic, which is going to be the NFL, we'll come back with Odell Beckham Jr. Stay tuned, guys.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow. You just put your lips together and you come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby, here we go. And I'm betting you like girls to give love to girls and stroke your little ego. I bet you I'm guilty, your honor. That's just how we live.
Well, thank you so much again for staying with us tonight. Have your questions ready. Anything with me and Steve. We have a wonderful debate going on today. Tony, again, thanks for staying with us. You have some awesome questions, and especially with the topic with the NBA. So we're going to move on to the NFL for your NFL lovers, especially me. The New York Giants, the biggest kind of topic going on right now is with Odell Beckham Jr. A couple of shows ago, I had him with the situation he had in Europe when he was trying to shoot the Nike commercial. Odell Beckham Jr. I don't even know how he got that footage and who was filming that. Because honestly, as a player, you have your entourage with you. Why would you allow something like that to be filmed and leaked out?
How about when he got knocked out of the club?
I saw that. I saw that.
I mean, he was blindsided,
but it doesn't matter. You're putting yourself in a situation where, you're going to be the talk of the league. Okay, he's been in the league for what, 3 years now, 2 years?
He's young.
He's young. Okay, you're young, Odell. You're putting yourself in a situation where teams are going to want that. Okay, it's like I don't know how these players find themselves in situations like this. Again, you're supposed to have your security guards with you, your entourage, to say, hey, even as your agent, okay, Odell, your agent who deals with you on a situation like this, you're making millions. You're flushing your career down the toilet. Now, the word has it where Odell is Giants co-owner John Mara is not ruling out any possibilities of a trade. Okay, he hasn't seen the video of Odell, but he's very upset. He's not holding any regression about what he said. He's extremely upset. At this point, he's saying, there's no trades out there, but likely could it happen? Absolutely. Because of what the Giants are drafting, was it second or third?
I think I also read that he said that he wouldn't step foot on the field unless he gets a re-sign. That's one of the big things.
That's the thing what we heard today. Yeah, Tony's saying this guy's a diva. I agree, Tony. The reason why I say that is because it seems like you're heading like you want to be in the camera. Not only that, Tony, but Steve, the tactics he done on the field when he slammed the.
Oh yeah.
What was it? Where the kicker kicks?
No, when he was fighting. Was it Richard Sherman, or he was fighting somebody on the corner, another corner from Carolina? Mm-hmm. That he went to Norman, Josh Norman. He went to Redskins when they were fought on the field. It's just dumb thing.
It is, but when there was some argument in the sideline too. I think it was 2 years ago actually, when where the kicker practices kicking the balls into the net.
Yeah.
He started beating up on the net, and it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, seriously, dude, what did this net do to you? He looked like an idiot. So that, he's a wonderful player, but I feel like these guys, it's becoming a routine with these receivers.
Yeah.
It's becoming routines. Players with so much talent, they're like babies coming into the league. Is this something that leagues got to look into?
Is he the next Terrell Owens, Des Bryant?
You hit it right on the nail. Exactly.
Those kind of. I know what Tony's saying when he says diva wideouts.
Yeah, exactly.
And those are the two diva wideouts that just came to my head.
Absolutely.
Des Bryant, Terrell Owens, like give me the ball, or else I'm not playing, or pay me or else I'm not playing. Like,
well, it all started with Keyshawn Johnson. You remember Keyshawn Johnson?
With Tampa?
Well, it was the Jets, but Jets and then Tampa, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, John Gruden wouldn't take any of that, honestly. He's like, give me the ball, give me the ball. Granted, with Keyshawn Johnson, he wouldn't drop the passes. Everything he caught. But it was give me the damn ball,
Absolutely.
Which is fine. But I feel like it all stemmed from that. But Terrell Owens would probably be the one guy I would say compare him to. Because, a player I call Butterfingers because every time when he needed to catch that big catch, he would drop it.
Did you hear that the Rams were one of the teams today that they were going to try to make a trade to see if they can send it over there to the Giants, if the Giants want to pull that trade off?
Well, yeah. I mean,
the Rams are going to be broken in the next couple of years because they got rookie contracts of Todd Gurley, rookie contract of the quarterback Goff, and then you got you just signed Ndamukong Suh today for a 1-year deal.
$14 million?
Yeah, and then you got Marcus Peters. His contract's going to be coming up soon. So they're going to be broke soon.
Well, unless they're doing what I'm predicting they're doing, what I'm thinking is they're putting all the marbles in for that 1 year to win the Super Bowl next year, and then they're laying players off. It happens in the NHL.
I'd like to see him go there, though. Odell?
Well, no. In the Rams? No.
That'd be a good fit for them.
I got so sick and tired of them. And
maybe McVay can put him in his place.
Well,
maybe Sean McVay can put him in his place. Because, they're under a new coach.
Well, they were the greatest show on turf in St. Louis, and I hated that team. I hated that team. The reason why is Tampa lost to them. In that one championship game in 1999.
Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner,
Oh my
Isaac Bruce,
God!
Torrey
And
Holt.
that team came out of nowhere too that year.
Absolutely.
That team came out of nowhere.
Well, Kurt Warner came out of nowhere. Arena football.
Well, yeah, he was the London Monarchs, or I don't know, the Bombers, something. So yeah, and I agree, Tony. Again, this guy's a diva. I feel like whatever team he goes to, he might cause issues.
I say trade him if I was the Giants. You're in a rebuilding phase. I mean, how many years are you going to keep Eli Manning?
No, he's done
You know?
after next year, in my opinion. He might go to Jacksonville next year. Who knows?
Yeah, and right now you need to, in order to give Beckham the ball, you need a veteran quarterback right now. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't just insert a rookie quarterback in there and go ahead and throw the ball to this guy. They still need to build. They're in a rebuilding phase. They just got a new coach. Trade them while the value's there and get something out of it and move forward.
So the owner of the Giants, and here's why I think he's already cashed out on him. He goes, I think too often he allows himself to put himself in bad situations. Too often. If you guys read between the lines, too often meaning, you know what, this is enough. This is enough. So
Now imagine if you pay him.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
How do you act? Usually when you get paid, it gets worse.
But like you said, exactly. And he's not going to come on the field. Now, here's World War III, right before the season started. A half owner of the Giants, Mara, says, too many times, too often, he's put himself in this bad situation. Already, he doesn't like the situation. He doesn't want it with New York. But they're not saying that. Odell is coming back with, I'm not going to be on the field until I sign a contract. So this is going to be a hot topic this whole week.
Do you want someone like that on your team?
With me,
I wouldn't.
Great
athlete, don't get me wrong.
His heart's in the right place when he plays, but you're playing for New York, so the media is all over you.
Yeah, exactly.
All over you. So we're going to touch base. Stay tuned with us. When this story develops further, I'll break updates on what's going to happen with after the whistle. So the next topic we're going to go on was the Dallas Cowboys, a team that's kind of flying under the radar with this free agency. But, what's going on, and I've touched base with Des Bryant during the show. What's going on with Des Bryant? Here's another guy, actually, I kind of want to discuss. A diva. But not in a way where he causes problems off the field. But the guy cries for the ball. But then I feel like when he catches the ball, it's always at you didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, he gets muscled down there by these corners.
He's getting old. He's getting old. His cut routes are not the same anymore. He's double covered. He doesn't get those flashy touchdowns like he used to. And honestly, I think his predecessor, Romo, was probably the best quarterback he had where the connection was there, like Rodgers and Nelson. Romo's not there anymore, so what are you going to do? The system with Dak Prescott, the system's not going to
And you got Zeke in the backfield.
And Zeke Elliott, correct. So you're phasing out. And they signed Alan Hearns from Jacksonville.
So that was my next thing. If they do keep Des Bryant, that's a big help for him. You got to understand. That takes the double coverage away. Can you double coverage Des all day? I mean, you got him, you got Zeke, you'll have Hearns, and I don't know if Jason Witten's coming back.
Jason Witten's coming back, but he's father time. I don't know why you bring him back.
But he gets the job done.
No, he does. But in a tight end position now, I think most teams are going 2 tight ends.
And you hit it on the head, Tony. Overrated. You're right.
He is overrated. He's definitely overrated. But again, it's he's lost his agility, his breakthrough, his route running, and the thing is with Dallas too. Here's another player whose contract ends this year, so they owe him $8 to $12 million. Do you want that on your roster? Well, you can put that $8 to $12 million on a different player. No, you can't bring this guy back because if you're signing now, if they had signed the guy who went to the Rams wide receiver, got signed by Kansas City,
Sammy Watkins.
Yes, they said if they had signed Sammy Watkins, Des Bryant would be packing his bags right now, but they didn't. Even though with Alan Hearns, okay, you still got Williams on the other end, so you've had some legitimate receivers on your team. But what's Des going to do for $12 million?
About Dallas, I think Dallas needs to upgrade their defense. Yeah. That's the key is their defense.
I agree.
We're all focusing on their offense here. They have the best running back in the game. Mm-hmm. Zeke Elliott is the best running back in the game when he's in. They have one of the best offensive lines.
Well, you think that offensive line because
they have one of the best offensive lines in the game. You got the best running back, best offensive line. You got a young quarterback. I mean, they got Dak Prescott late in the draft, and he's doing really well, and he's just developing. You understand? He's in his third year. He's developing. You got to focus on your defense. The defense wasn't there all season. Injury here, injury. If I were you right now, Cowboys, I would trade Des Bryant for either a draft pick and go after a defensive player. There's teams out there that need wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Send them. Jacksonville needs a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Trade them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Jacksonville's another team I'm really shocked that they didn't pursue.
I'm shocked they let go of Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns.
Yeah, I don't know what they're. I mean, especially a team that was on the brink of going to the Super Bowl. Honestly.
I guess they're big. They're big on D.D. Westbrook and Marquise Lee.
I mean, what was this? And bringing Blake Bortles back. I mean, what are you thinking? Unless now Tom Coughlin is their president.
Unless they're bringing Manning there.
That's what I'm saying. Manning's one more year left in New York, and I don't see that team going anywhere next year. New York. You bring in Manning, okay, him and Tom Coughlin with that defense. Now, granted, with Jacksonville, this year they could flop and everybody get hurt, and it's not the same team. You don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You don't know what's going to happen. So, I don't know. I don't see Des Bryant in Dallas. I mean, if you're going to bring him back for $8 to $12 million as a receiver, that's like your third receiver who's going to be covered all the time. Why are you going to risk all that money for him? I would have put it somewhere else. Here's a player, okay, which I was extremely sad. Okay, well, not in general, but last year, honestly, if he had stayed healthy, they would have gone to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm for sure.
Yeah.
I love Brady. Again, but I feel like the Packers when they're clicking, they're clicking. He went and got hurt in Minnesota, but the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers, they have something really to start thinking about here because his contract was prior to this that they need to sign. Well, guys, 5 years, $110 million. Okay, $110 million for 5 years.
Trade Trubisky and get him.
Trubisky.
Bears, trade Trubisky and get him.
Well, he wants to stay. Look, Aaron Rodgers.
How many Bears fans would be happy, and how many wouldn't?
Of course, all these people that say hate Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Listen, to you Bear fans, here's why you're so bipolar. Okay, and I don't care how you take this. Okay, the reason why I say this, you guys hated Dennis Rodman when he played for the Detroit Pistons. Okay, oh, he's the dirtiest player. Right when he went to Chicago, he was the greatest player on the face of this earth. Okay, so that when you guys bash Brady, just think about that. Okay, you hate him, but if Brady was with the Bears, oh my God, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know it's a fact. Okay, so yeah, Aaron Rodgers, they have a problem. Okay, Alex Van Pelt, the quarterback's coach, is gone. His favorite target receiver, Jordy Nelson, went to the Raiders. And I found out today Jordy Nelson is still very upset that the contract negotiation
He
went
probably
that
wanted
way.
to retire a Green Bay Packer.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it with Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay also has a situation. Look, Aaron Rodgers needs to get signed. Now, with Kirk Cousins, he got 80 million for 3 years, guaranteed. Okay? Now, you got the Atlanta Falcons quarterback, too, coming up. Matt Ryan, who needs to sign that contract. So Kirk Cousins set the stone on how it's going to be. So it's just going to go higher and higher. Now, with Aaron Rodgers, he's not getting older, or he's not getting any younger. He broke 2 clavicles back-to-back, okay, years, right and left. If you're not going to address your offensive line to protect this quarterback, then you need to do something with this quarterback. Let him go. Because he's your prized possession. And honestly, the way I see it, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, absolutely. But you got to build around him. If your offensive line is shot, he's going to get hurt again. Guaranteed this year, he's going to get hurt again.
You hit it on the head, Ash. I mean, ever since I've been watching Aaron Rodgers play, he, in my opinion, is the most hit quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
He gets hit the most.
Second was Brady, but yes, he was number one.
He gets hit the most.
Yep.
I mean, they're not soft hits. He takes big hits.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't get him an offensive line. They need to get him an offensive line. He could play another 8 years if he wanted.
Yeah.
But his body's taking a toll.
It's pretty sad, and it's pretty sad that, and I believe if something doesn't happen, Mike McCarthy is going to be gone this
Absolutely.
year. He's going to be
Absolutely.
gone, and it's a shame because Aaron Rodgers, you're wasting his talent, and you're not winning a Super Bowl because of Mike McCarthy. At the end of the day, it's going to fall on the coach.
You're right.
It's going to fall on the coach. So, we're going to go for another quick timeout. We're going to show you, just want to say the Assyrian night coming up April 3rd, the Chicago Bulls against the Charlotte Hornets.
The Bulls are playing the Hornets.
Hornets,
yes.
okay? If you haven't got your tickets are still available. Go out there. There's no Assyrian parade this year, so go out there and support this great cause. Actually, it's a great thing. I haven't seen something like this happen.
They'll notice us at halftime on the big jumbotron.
On the jumbotron, yeah.
A few times.
Tickets are available. There's going to be on the timeout when we go to commercial break. You'll see that. Along with that, we have an Assyrian cruise coming up that Nino Smolky has set up. Another wonderful thing. That's set to sail. I believe it's February of 2019. Tickets are also available on that, so you'll see it once we go on a break. Who to contact. Rooms are still available. They are booking. And I'm going to have Ninos probably on eventually for this. It's a great cause. I know it's got nothing to do with sports, but anything to help out the community, I love to do. So 2 things coming up on this commercial break. A, the Bulls night with the Syrian Bulls, actually the Syrian night with the Bulls. So we're not doing the parade. We're going to do that. Join that game. It's going to be fun. Tickets are still available, and the cruise coming up in February. We're going to commercial break. See these two ads, and we'll be back to close out the segment with the MLB.
Baby, whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow. You just put your lips together and you come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby, whistle, baby? Here we go. Look, I'm betting you like people, and I'm betting you love freak mode, and I'm betting you like girls to give love to girls and stroke your little ego. I bet you I'm guilty, your honor. That's just how we live in my genre. Who in the hell done paved the road wider? There's only one flow and one rider. I'm a damn shame, order more champagne, pull a damn hamstring, tryna put it on ya. Let your lips spin back around, come up. Slow it down, baby, take a look. Blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow. You just put your lips together and you come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby, whistle, baby? Here we go.
Buckle with welcome. Well, thanks for staying with us. We're going to go ahead and close the segment out with MLB. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. The MLB starts this week, the regular season with the Cubs. And for you Sox fans, we'll kind of brush that to the side, Sox fans. Cubs opening season against the Marlins coming up March 29th. Mm-hmm. It is a 1:30 ball game, and you got John Lester pitching for the Cubs. So keep in mind, if you haven't seen the schedule, March 29th at 1:30, John Lester against the Florida Marlins. And then there's this other team on the south somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in the south of Chicago, called the Chicago White Sox. They're playing against Kansas City Royals. Go Royals. I mean, and the pitcher for the Sox is this Shields playing the mound at 5:15 Central Time.
Rocked.
I don't know what's going to happen. I think Kansas City's going to win that game big time. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to After the Whistle. And just to let you guys know, next Monday we will not have a show just because of the holidays coming up. Give you guys a break. Give our station crew a break. Happy Easter to all of you guys out there. A blessed one and a safe one. I'd like to thank my producers again for a great show. And a happy Assyrian New Year's, by the way, too.
Happy Assyrian New Year's. Happy New Year's to all the Assyrians out there, and happy Easter.
Absolutely. So I'd like to thank my producers, as always. Thank you so much for your hard work. My guest, Steve Mushi, as always, thank you so much.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. After that, have a great night, everybody. Good night.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow. You just put your lips together and you come